One more time.
That was fun.
You calling him down or calling me?
Look at him laughing.
He's got to do Hank. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the March 26, 2024 council meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Here.
Ms. Shinholster,
Here.
Ms. Mapp,
Here.
Ms. Walden,
Here.
Mr. Reynolds,
Here.
Mr. Chambers.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum, so we can continue with the meeting. Please stand and join me in prayer and then with the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here today under your care and your protection. Thank you for your loving kindness that never fails. We thank you for those that are here with us tonight and that you will guide our thoughts and actions to bring you glory. Strengthen us and fill us with your peace. This in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'll move to the public comment portion of our meeting and recognize anyone who signed up to speak. So just looking at this, it seems that we have two speakers that have signed up to speak. The first one will be County Commissioner Emily Davis. Please, when you stand, state your name. Address.
Good evening. Emily C. Davis, 430 North Liberty Street, Milledgeville, Georgia, 31061. I come before you tonight. First, thank you for this opportunity. Good to see everyone. I come before you tonight because I have a concern about a banner that's missing and possibly destroyed. I don't know. And it's the banner of Geneva Bell Davis, my mother. And we kind of feel like we know what happened, but we're not detectives. We're not attorneys, Attorney Jordan. So we don't know. We're just kind of speculating, but our gut is telling us something. And so we would like for you all to please, if you would investigate this and find out where it is. I know we'll probably never know why or see if it's destroyed. It's just strange. And we feel like that when they decided to take that one, that they said, well, we need to take one or two more so it won't seem so obvious. So that's an issue because she was a queen. She loved everyone. Everyone may not have loved her, but she was a GOAT, in our opinion. And so we would like to know, and we would like an answer sooner than later, because I haven't gotten one yet, and I've been waiting patiently. And so that's something that we would like to know. Do you have any questions or concerns? Because, from what we've talked about as a family, I think even Stevie Wonder probably knows what happened to the banner. He can see that.
Okay.
So if you would please make contact with me, and let me know. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. The next person is Ms. Beverly Hill.
Hello, I'm Beverly Lundy Hill, and I'm the one that's responsible for the banner project. I thank you all for allowing me to bestow this honor on Baldwin County and the city, and I hope that everyone enjoyed it. During the time that the banners were up, sometimes when I would be downtown, there would be different people walking down the street taking photos. There would be some would stop me and we would discuss the banners. So I'm glad that we had the opportunity. I was not aware that they were going to be taken down. I was informed that they were going to stay up until May, but I wasn't aware, because if I knew, then the day, just as when they were placed up, I would have been there to help bring them down so I could properly secure them. Unfortunately, there's 4 banners missing, which is Miss Geneva Davis Bell. I'm sorry, Miss Bill Geneva Bell Davis, and Dr. Judson Simmons. I think it was Miss Sally Davis and it was Herman Waller. So unfortunately, you know, I really hate that happened, and even though I don't know who have the banners, I do apologize for this incident, you know, and but it's not going to be a negative for the future, because I'm going to come back next year stronger, and we're going to double the banners, you know. I am an investigator, and I considered investigating it, but I think I'm just going to step back on this situation and let you all, if you all want to take a look at it, you can. If you need my assistance, I will step in on it. But I just wanted to say, you know, I wanted to apologize to the family, but I also wanted to just thank everyone for, you know, all the well wishes. Unfortunately, the news station, when they came through town, they were going to stop and do Baldwin, but the banners were down, so they wasn't able to do the story on Baldwin. And so we're going to try to reschedule something with Channel 13, and I will place the banners up somewhere else, and we'll go through them and talk through them. But thank you again, and I'll see you next year this time.
Okay, I want to thank you, Ms. Hill and Ms. Davis, for your comments, and I'm going to make a few before I turn it over to the city manager. First of all, I have no idea where it was implied to anyone that the banners would be up until the end of May, because we were asked to put the banners up in honor of Black History Month. And since we were late getting the banners up in February, we did let them stay up a full 30 days before the banners were taken down, so that it would be a month. And the banners would stay up at that time. And then I think that Ms. Davis had scheduled a tour to come through, and we were informed of that at the last minute. So hastily, we made some alternate plans to get the banners displayed so that the tour group could see them. So just to let you know, let Ms. Davis know, those banners are still with the city. When the group came, when the Public Works men picked up the banners to bring them up here, because we called them off of a job to go pick them up and bring them up here so that I could put them out on tables to display. In their haste, they didn't get all of them. So, you know, what Ms. Davis is saying about her mother's banner being missing, yes, true. It wasn't with that group that we displayed in there, but her mother's banner is not missing. It is not missing, and neither are the other ones. No one has any reason to take those banners away from the city of Milledgeville. So I just want to make sure that that is cleared with everyone. That we you know, there's no one with the city that would have any reason or any desire to take the banners. And normally we get prepared for our hometown celebration, which is held the first part of May. And so that was one of the reasons why the banners were taken down, because we always take things down and after 30 days and then change them over. So it was standard. What we did was standard, and it wasn't anything unusual. So in the future, understand that we need to get them up, you know, right when the month begins, and then take them down at the end, and we'll take them down at the end of that month. But we have to schedule that with Public Works so that everything can be done in a timely manner. I'm going to ask the city manager to speak on anything else.
We have located Miss Geneva Davis's and Sally Davis's, and I have them in my office. And I was not aware of the other two, but I will be on that first thing in the morning to try and determine if they like the other two were just simply not picked up by Public Works. When I contacted the Public Works director, once I realized Miss Geneva's was missing, He called his staff at that point in time, and they brought them to me the next morning. So we will be in search of the other two. We want to find them both, but we certainly want all of Mr. Herman Waller, since he was part of the city for so many years. So we'll work on that. Give me the rest of the week to see if I can find the other two, so we get them all together, and then on Monday just come by and we'll pass them on to you. Sure.
Okay, those are only two? Okay, thank you. We'll move on. You have received a copy of the, should that be October 30th? October 30th,
That was a call meeting.
2023 call council meeting, the February 6, 2024 call council meeting, and the March 12, 2024 council meeting minutes. Are there any corrections that need to be made? Is there a motion to adopt the minutes?
So moved. Second.
I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Mr. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Mr. Manager, did you have any comments from the mayor?
I do not. No, ma'am.
Okay, and neither did I. So I'll move out from the podium for the first two presentations that we have on the agenda for tonight.
And the originals are out there too.
Must be some phone.
Okay. The first presentation that we have is for the Georgia Rise Award. Each year, the U.S. Department of Education awards the inspirational school employees award to a full or part-time classified school employee who provides exemplary service to students in pre-kindergarten through high school. Georgia runs a state-level process, the Georgia Rise Award, to select its nominees. The two winners of this state-level recognition are nominated for the national award. This evening, we would like to recognize and honor Ms. Gina Whitaker, the Executive Administrative Assistant for the Baldwin County School District. She is one of Georgia's nominees for the National Rise Award. All schools and districts were invited to submit a nominee for the Georgia Rise Award. Nomination forms were reviewed by a panel of judges composed of representatives from the Georgia Department of Education and numerous education organizations. The highest scoring applications were presented to Governor Kemp, who made the final selection of the two nominees. Ms. Whitaker works hard each and every day to ensure students in Georgia's K-12 schools have a safe and productive learning experience, and on behalf of Governor Kemp and his wife, Marty, they are grateful for their efforts on behalf of the students who will step into the jobs of the future. On behalf of the Mayor and Council, we want to recognize and honor Ms. Whitaker for her dedication and hard work that she does for our students and staff with the Baldwin County School District. At this time, I'll ask Ms. Whitaker, Dr. Price, if you all will come up, and whoever else she wants to come up. We have a proclamation, and it reads, whereas Gina L. Whitaker is a valued member of the Baldwin County educational system, serving as the executive administrative assistant to the superintendent of the Baldwin County School District. And whereas Gina L. Whitaker's commendable service to her superintendent and school district has garnered her the 2023 Georgia Rise Award in recognition of the inspiration she provides every day. And whereas Gina L. Whitaker serves as an invaluable part of the efficient and effective organization of the Baldwin County school system, providing her expertise to the superintendent, board members, and all departments in areas such as event planning, coordinating community outreach, including the 175-person strong partners in education, being a student mentor, maintaining school board policy, document development, overseeing the school-wide website, wow, volunteering to take photographs at school events, and for being the point person and of many organizations, including Partners in Education, Farm to School, and as captain of the Relay for Life team. And whereas Gina L. Whitaker, through her untiring efforts, has brought many awards and recognitions to our school district, including the Georgia School Public Relations Association Publication Award, being inducted into the National Society of Leadership and Success at Walden University, and both the Pursuit of Excellence Award and being named Employee of the Month from the Baldwin County School District. And whereas Gina L. Whitaker has a unique ability to make students, staff, parents, and volunteers feel as if they are important and appreciated member of the Baldwin County School District team, and where it is proper and fitting to highlight the many achievements and talents of Mrs. Whitaker with appropriate honors and accolades. Now, therefore, I, Denise Shinhouser, Mayor Pro Tem, on behalf of Mayor Mary Palm Copeland as Mayor of the City of Milledgeville, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, March 26, 2024, as Gina Whitaker Day in the City of Milledgeville, and encourage all citizens to reflect on her positive impact on the Baldwin County Board of Education, along with the students, parents, and volunteers throughout our school district. You have a
I think the mothers are gonna come in.
Okay, our second presentation is for the Baldwin Bravettes, and I want everybody to join me. Coaching staff to come in at this time. We want to honor you. We did a proclamation for the Bravettes on the day of the parade, so we're going to ask Dr. Price to come up with them. This proclamation is yours. It says, whereas the mayor and aldermen of the city of Milledgeville congratulate the Baldwin Bravettes and join them as they celebrate winning the 2024 Girls GHSA Class 4A State Championship Tournament on March the 6th, 2024. And whereas each Bravette is to be commended for the hard work and dedication required to hone her individual athletic ability to peak performance and to bring that athleticism to each game during the regular season and ultimately to the state basketball tournament on March 6th. And whereas head coach Kizzy Walker used her leadership skills, knowledge of both basketball and team dynamics, and also utilize the abilities of her talented coaching staff, Yuri Haynes, Charlene Dunn, and Michael Adams, to assure the Baldwin Bravettes achieved a place in Georgia sports history as the 2024 basketball state champions, and whereas it is appropriate to bestow accolades upon Coach Walker, her staff, and each Bravette for their achievements on the basketball court. So this was presented to the Bravettes on March 16th, 2024, and we pronounced that as Baldwin Bravettes Day in the city of Milledgeville, and encourage all the citizens to join us and help celebrate the Bravettes winning the 2024 Girls Basketball State Championship. Congratulations, girls.
Just don't make no sense. My heart ain't in. I can't do it. I know. Believe me, I know. I felt
Didn't say that to many people.
and you see what I said too, right?
Billy must have worked for Island Meals before he started with the newspaper.
Guys, big smiles. Get y'all really this away. Really tight. Going twice, okay? Thank y'all very much.
I want to see you take it and jump in it.
She's fast.
Go ahead.
Down there. Down there.
Yeah, somebody's phone. Break. Did I put it up there somewhere? Yeah, that's mine. Hank.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Our next presentation is from Jim Fraser for Trivana. We've had the representative from Trevana here before with the promise of another presentation to educate us about their business and the medical cannabis industry. I'll turn the floor over to you, Mr. Frazier.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to present to the city and council members and to the mayor. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Just before I started going through the slides and what have you, I just want to tell you a little bit about Trevana and Sanctuary. Sanctuary is the operating partner on the license. So Rick and myself, we've got the privilege to spend quite a bit of time up here in Milledgeville and what have you. But so Sanctuary itself, we're in multiple states. Start off in New Hampshire, then it migrated over into Massachusetts, then to Florida. Florida operation's been up and running for a couple years now, and it's one of the largest. It's actually the largest operation within the company right now as well. But we've had very good success in multiple states. We have an awesome team, and we're going to take that knowledge and that expertise, and we're going to bring it to Milledgeville to launch the process down here. So Trevana Sanctuary, we've been down here for a while with the license. We just recently and getting ready to go into the operational side of the business as well. But I'm going to go ahead and start on the slide here. First slide, just an index on some of the key points on the presentation. As you can see, we've got 4 major parts there. So this facility here is 3015 Heritage Place. This is the location where we will be launching the operation. What we're going to do first, as you'll see as it progresses and there's more information, is we're going to take the back side of that property and we're going to create a pod farm. A pod farm is basically a container. It's 40 foot long, 8 foot wide. We convert those into making them grow rooms, dry rooms, kitchens, extraction labs, and also we take pods, and Rick is pretty crafty with them, and we actually make offices out of them as well. So, there's so many of these things all over the place, and, you got people doing a lot of different things. But what that does, that allows us to get into the property, allows us to get up and running very quickly as well. It's just basically taking those pods, putting them on the property, getting the power and all the utilities and everything hooked up for it. So it's much quicker to be able to get up and running versus going into a building and have to remodel a building or build a facility as well. So we're looking forward to keeping that moving forward. So if you can picture this right here, and you have to excuse me, I'm not an architect, but this is just a basic Excel file. As you can see in the green is the existing building that we just looked at on the previous picture. And you can see the pods, how I have them positioned on the back side of that property. That is what that property will look like, and that is what the initial operation will look like. We have the extraction pod, we have 3 flowering pods, a veg clone pod, a fertigation, and a dry room. Now inside the building, what we're going to do is we will have some build out inside the building, which is going to house break rooms, lunch rooms, and also our kitchen and our secured storage. And I'll get more into that. But one thing about the industry, regardless of what state you're in, is the security of the product. And, and I know there's going to be questions and there's going to be a lot of things come up about, hey, how do I know that product isn't going to end up on a street corner? And I'll get into that a little bit later. But this is what the facility will look like on phase 1. So product safety and site security. So this is one of the biggest things, and we get asked more questions about, how do you track the product? How do you secure the product? So there's multiple things, and we do it in all the different states. And the rules and regs in the state of Georgia is very similar to the other states that we're in. But BioTrack is a platform. It's a seed to sale. So we literally track everything from the time that plant or that seed goes into the dirt. We know we can take that seed, that plant, and track it all the way to the end user. So it grows, it goes into the next cycle, it's harvested, it's dried, it's trimmed, it's shucked, it's trimmed, it's packaged, and it has a unique identifier to it from the birth all the way to the end user. So if somebody came back and said, hey, this happened with this product, we literally have the ability to go all the way back in BioTrack and say, okay, this is where this plant came from. This is where this strain came from. This is where this tincture or the edible or wherever it came from, everything has a unique identifier. So that's our BioTrack system. Site security, and Rick is a big part of this. He puts these systems together, but the site security is, we'll start off with telling you that we will have a security person, a live person on property 24/7. Every single day of the year, there's somebody on that property for security. There's the site itself, the pods that we were looking at before. Inside and outside of those pods are cameras. So we literally can log on. We can be sitting in anywhere we like right now if we're up and running, or we have the ability right now to look at everything in Florida. We can look at the other states as well. But we will have the site security. We have cameras inside the pods, outside the pods. The complete parameter of that facility is camera, so 24/7. And so if anything ever does happen, we can always go back and look at camera footage. We can always go back and share information with people that may have questions, state regulators and things that come in. I believe in the state of Georgia, we have to have 45 days of activity, which means if they came in and inspected our facility or somebody for whatever, we literally have footage going back 45 days. So since we're recording 24/7, the amount of space that takes to actually store that much data and that much recordings, it's pretty large. But so we have that ability, and again, I want to stress that we take the site, the security of both the product and the security of that facility, we take it very seriously. Knock on wood, we've not had any issues in other states because we go over and above on actually what the protocols and the rules and regs require. We make sure that, number one, that our product's protected, our assets are protected, and we have full control of that product from seed to all the way to sale. So we're very, very good at that. And like I said, we're not going to pull any corners here. We're going to, keep doing the same things, doing the right things right. Just having somebody at the facility 24/7 is a big plus. Because what they do in the middle of the night, they walk the parameter. They're sitting there in front of the cameras. They're watching the monitors. So they know at all times what's going on in that facility. You have to be a badged individual to even be inside the gate as well. So it's not like somebody can just walk off the street and knock on the door and say, hey, can I come in? You can't come in. You've got to have a badge. You have to be cleared by the state. Now, in the state of Georgia, just the executives have to have background checks. The actual people that work at the facility, the growers and some of the other employees, we have to do the background check. The state doesn't require it, but we will always background check everybody because we want to know who our employees are. We have a very strict guideline about certain things that you can't have on your record to be able to be part of our team. You can't have certain things on your record that we just won't let people like that inside of our facilities for obvious reasons, okay? So Rick and I both, we've already turned our paperwork in. We're getting our background checks done. I think I'll be okay, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I've been background checked like second level, like in 21 different states. So it's all good. But the security, and again, I know that the security of the product and security of the site, it's on people's tips of their tongue that they want to say, hey, how are you going to guarantee this isn't going to end up on the street? Well, I can guarantee it because we have that BioTrack, that seed to sale, and the state will come in unannounced and say, okay, show me where this product is at. Show me where this product is at. And we do mock recalls. We go through the system, and they actually monitor the product again. So it's not like, this one package can just show up missing. It can't, because we are held to strict standards with the state to make sure that we can record and we record and can report at any given time on every single gram, every single ounce of product that comes through there. So I think this is out of, let's see here. Whoop. Okay. So the schedule, everybody is asking, when are we going to get started? So this is a very, tentative schedule. Obviously, some things have to fall into place, as far as utilities and things like that. But what we're looking at is in April to get started, start bringing the pods up. And then, we start the installation through May and June. But then what we want to do is we want to start planning as quickly as we can. And based off of this schedule here, it looks like we would have our first harvest sometime in August. Now, what does that mean? So all these things have to line up. We've got to get the pods up here. We've got to get approved by the state. Because once we've got the complete build out is done and ready to be inspected, we have to notify the state. They'll come in, and they have a laundry list of things that we have to check the boxes off on. You know, the build out, the security, the fence, the cameras, all these different things, which we will have it in place and ready to go. Now, once we get the approval, then we'll plant. Then once we plant, it takes roughly about 60 days worth of grow time, between 8 to 10 weeks, depending on the strain. And then what we do is then it has to be harvested, and we dry it for 10 to 12 days. Then once you dry it, then you shuck it, then you trim it, then you pack it, then you ship it. So, but again, I want to stress the point about, the controls that are within the system, and also the controls that the state puts on cannabis industry here as well. We're fully aware, we've got, some very smart people. We got some very good people. Rick himself, will be up here quite a bit along with myself. I actually work in Florida, but I'm the GM over, and I do different things in New Hampshire and Massachusetts and what have you as well. But we will make sure that the facility is done right. We'll make sure that security is done right. We'll make sure that we are good community stewards. That's very important to us as well. We just don't want to come here and throw our hat down and that's it. We'll be engaged with the community. We'll be good community stewards. We'll join the chambers. We'll join other groups as well to make sure that, people stay, up to speed with what we're doing. And we want to make sure, especially the sensitivity around cannabis, we want to make sure that people like ourselves are available to answer questions and make sure that, the right people that are informed, and make sure that, we're doing the right things right. That's right. You can't ask questions, can you? Yeah. Oh, you can? Is there any questions?
I just have a question about security.
Please.
That's my concern.
You said you guarantee. I mean, can you go further into security?
So-
because I'm just concerned
Sure.
about the community and the children.
Absolutely, 100%, and completely understood. So give you an example. So that picture, see if I can go back. So if you look at that picture, all right, so we have the pods. That entire facility from the backside of the florist all the way around is completely fenced. It's fenced. It's a 6-foot-high fence with barbed wire around the top of it. And we're actually going to take that fence and we're going to improve upon it. So the first layer of defense we have from people getting in is the fence line. Second thing is, as I mentioned before, is we're going to have a 24-hour security guard on site at all times. When employees, when they arrive to work, they will have to show their badge to be able to even get in the gate. So if you're an employee and you forgot your badge, you're not getting in, because there's very strict protocols we have. Once they're inside, everything is camera. I mean, literally everything. I mean, other than certain areas of the facility where, cameras don't belong, we don't. But inside the pods, outside the pods, inside the building, the perimeter, 24 hours a day, those are monitored by cameras, okay? Now, somebody will say, well, what's stopping somebody from taking something, put it in their pocket and walking out the door with it, all right? So we have very strict protocols and SOPs in place that uniforms, they have no pockets. I mean, we take every single step we can to try and ensure that if we do have a bad actor amongst our employees, that we don't give them the opportunities that, coach with pockets or hoodies or things that they can, get in. Backpacks, they have to be clear. They can't have just like a regular backpack when you come in. So as far as the security of the site, the site itself is going to be very, very secure. We go to Great Lakes on training as well. We have a corporate, security person that comes in and goes through everything with everybody about the proper ways to do things, the do's and don'ts while you're at work. And, even, the security guards, they go through a rigorous background check as well, just like the executives do, to make sure that the person that we have watching the product and our assets is somebody that's, a reliable, person as well. But on the product side, the BioTrack system is very, very good about making sure that it tracks everything it goes through, and we do daily audits as well. So what we do is we come in, we say, okay, when we left yesterday, we had X amount of product, and we do counts and more counts and recounts, because if there's an issue, we launch an investigation immediately. We want to know. We'll go back and look at camera footage. We'll go back and make sure the records are correct. So is everything a absolute 100%? Well, is somebody, somebody somewhere might be able to throw something in their pocket and not get caught. We can't guarantee, but what I can guarantee you is that we take every step possible within our means to make sure that the facility is secured, to make sure our employees are well trained. We've background checked them. We know who's in our facilities. And when they leave, like I said, they've got clear backpacks. They can't have pockets. So we take every step possible to ensure that we're getting the right people in. And when employees leave at night, that we have the ability to visually inspect them as they're leaving. So we take every step that we can and required to, plus additional steps, just because we want to make sure that we're doing it right, to make sure that all the product is secure and the facility is secured.
Okay, and you said the security guard would be there 24/7, right?
7 days a week. Yep.
So this company would be open at all times then?
So what happens is the operating, it will be on a day shift. So say for an example, folks will start coming in at 7 a.m. and they're there to probably about 5:30, depending, and there'll be some staggering. And after about 6, 7 o'clock at night, everybody would be gone except for the security guards.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
No, absolutely. And again, that's the security of the product and the site security is obviously a big question. And again, the sensitivity of the industry. But I can tell you is that, everything that we've just discussed tonight, and once it's built, I would highly recommend that everybody comes by and we'll give you a tour, so you can actually see it. And then once you see it, you understand that the way it's locked down, you'll say, wow, nobody's getting in. And if you do get in, you're probably not going to get out. So, but again, these are all things that we abide by the rules and regulations to a T. There is no gray area. And I can tell you that in any state that we operate in, we are very, very strict on the rules and regs of the state and also our internal SOPs and things as well.
Okay. Appreciate it. I feel a little bit better.
Good. I mean, if you have any questions or what have you, you call me or email me or whatever, questions any of you may have, please, reach out and I'll be more than happy to get on a phone call or respond to an email.
I do have a question. It wouldn't be me if I didn't have a question. I see all of this and everything that you said, and so my question is shipping. Your products, or I don't see any shipping on your drawing. I don't see, so your products remain here in Milledgeville, and they're sold. I see where it said florist. I wasn't really clear on what that is. So is that where your products sold? Are they shipped to other areas?
Yeah, so it's vertically integrated. So what you have to do in the state of Georgia and Florida is like this as well. Mm-hmm. We have to grow it, we have to produce it, and we have to sell it within our own stores. Okay. It's not like you have a wholesale business here.
Okay.
It's not like if all you had stores, I couldn't come to you and try to sell product. Mm-hmm. So we're identifying where our first store is going to be, and I believe it's going to be here in Milledgeville. Okay. We want to focus on the operation and get that up and running first before we change gears. But to answer your question, the way it's shipped is we have vans, and these vans are outfitted with GPS. They're outfitted with what they call an iRide, and it's actual video camera inside the van, and it sees all around the van. And it also has audio as well. So we can track a van. We can tell you exactly what route that van is going. We can tell you how fast that van is going too. Mm-hmm. And also inside that van, we've got cameras. And there's, again, very strict protocols and SOPs. There's always 2 drivers. Okay. And the drivers, there's a cage behind the seats to where the drivers can't even reach around and get to the product. They're in the front of the van. They have to be able to get out of the van, and we put an additional lock, a slide lock, over top of the mechanism, the handle. So you've got the actual doors that lock. Then you've got another lock that has to be keyed to open as well. And again, when they open that up, there's cameras and there's audio at all times. Again, the sensitivity in the nature of the business makes you want to, God forbid something would happen, right. But we've got audio, we've got video. So those vans are very, very secured. And again, there's always 2 people in there. They have protocols. Somebody always stays with the van when the other person gets out. Somebody always stays with the product when the other person gets out as well.
Okay. Okay.
And again, once we get it built out and the van will be there, you come see this van. It's going to look like a Brinks truck. The way it's got the cages in it and everything's locked up. But when you see it on the road, you wouldn't know it. It just looks like just a regular work van. There's no signage. There's nothing on the side of the vans at all.
Well, when you get ready for us to come and tour, can you let our city manager, Mr.
Absolutely.
Griffith, know? And maybe we can all come together.
That would be great. I would look forward to it. And again, once you see the facility, you'll get a better understanding, not only for the security, but, how it's done. And, in the full operation. Because once you see it, it's quite amazing, actually. It's the industry's come a long way in the last, it's not what it was 20 years ago. We'll just leave it at that. I mean, it's a real business. Obviously with us being in multiple states, and we're one of the largest operators in New Hampshire and in Massachusetts, and becoming one of the largest ones in Florida as well. And we want to be able to bring that level of expertise and experience here and make sure that we're able to produce a high quality product and make sure that obviously we're following all the rules and the regs of the state.
How is the waste discarded?
So what it's called green waste. So for an example, there's special containers that will have, you've got a dumpster that's just for trash, just everyday trash. Then you have another dumpster, and it's called green waste. That's recorded in BioTrack as well. So even the waste, when we weigh it and go to throw it away, that has a unique number and identifier to it as well. It goes into a dumpster, and that dumpster is also locked. And that dumpster is under camera too. So if I were to go out there and dump something in there, and there's a question about, what happened that day, you roll the camera back and, there's Jim. He was dumping at, 12:03. He was dumping, 6 pounds of waste material into the dumpster. So, and then there's a special company that will come and get that. It's just not your waste management type of company. This is it's a company that, gets rid of, different types of waste.
Okay, I'm good.
But it's called green waste, and it goes into a special locked dumpster.
Okay.
Again, we're very excited to be here. We appreciate, everybody that, has been a big help. Hank has been a big help, Walter and, all of you. And I truly appreciate the opportunity to be here in Milledgeville, and look forward to being long time partners too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier.
Thank you.
This concludes the presentation, so we'll move to the city manager's report. And at this time, I'll recognize Mr. Griffith.
Thank you, Ms. Shinos. I'm going to be quick tonight.
What does that mean, 30 minutes?
Wow.
I have orders from the attorney.
We got some love up here tonight, I'm telling you.
I have specific orders.
I guess I used up some of my grace last meeting, telling y'all what we had done with the water and sewer system. So let me get to it. We have a lease commencement agreement with Verizon. You all know that we have leases with almost all of the cellular phone companies for antennas on our water. Some of our water towers around the system. This is one for Robertson Mill Road, and it will be on the tank that's there at the old Mohawk, or some of us remember it as the Meadows plant. And this is the lease agreement that's necessary to get that started with Verizon and get everything in line that needs to be done for them to start paying us for that lease. The second one is a resolution to approve a contract with Simonton Engineering. We have had some issues with drainage on Harrington Drive, especially the part of Harrington Drive that backs up to the Bellamy and Grove Park Apartments and Baldwin Park Village. We have worked with those properties to get their retention ponds cleaned out, and that has helped some, but we still have some additional work to do with them that we're working through the code enforcement process on. But Simonton will be helping us with that, as well as coming up with the plans for the drainage improvement much like he did with all of the drainage improvement plans that we brought before y'all, I guess about 3 meetings ago now. And not only will he be bringing the plans to us, he will be assisting us in the bid process for contractors to do that work. But this is an area we've had some issue with for a fairly decent length of time. Mr. Reynolds and I have had a couple of conversations about it when he's gotten calls from constituents. So this will be, once we get our $2.3 million worth of projects done that you all approved about 3 meetings ago, by that point in time, these plans will be ready and we'll move on to the Harrington Drive drainage improvements. The contract for repairing the roof here at City Hall is pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to expound on that. But I do want to take an opportunity to talk a little bit about the street dedications that have been requested of you all from the Development Authority. And these street dedications and the naming of these streets has been some work that has been going on for some time. Henry Pope Way and Earl Siegel Court are both named after folks who served long terms on the Development Authority Board for many, many years. I know we've got some of the Siegel family here and some of the Pope family here. Jonathan, if you're still here, just to make sure I don't miss anybody out, JJ, will you come up and just introduce the folks that are here from these families to make sure that I don't miss anybody?
Thank you, Hank, and thank you, Council. I'm going to try to take this to old home week for just a little bit because we've got a square dancing connection with this entire group of people. So Mr. Earl Siegel and his wife were part of the first wave of people that came down from Grumman when they came from New York. Yep. And some of our good friends, the D'Ambrosios, were friends of theirs. And so Mr. Earl and Miss Penelope are here tonight with your children. And I'm sorry, what are your children's names again? Deborah? Hamilton? Harrington. Okay, so Deborah and Michael Harrington are here with the Siegels, and that's Mr. Earl's daughter and son-in-law, right? All right. And so I first met Mr. Earl when he was serving on the Fall Line Regional Development Authority when I was working over in neighboring Wilkinson County, and he became a good friend then, and it's nice to see him again tonight. It's been quite a few years. And so the Pope family is with us. As you know, Mr. Henry Pope served on the Development Authority for many, many years as chairman. The first time I met him, he was standing before you with his hat in his hand trying to refinance the spec building for the 3rd time, I believe, because that was like, he did a good job of getting it done, right? And when it comes to spec buildings, I need Henry Popes and Earl Siegels to kind of get us on board with another one because we built 3 and we filled all 3 of them, so I think it's a good idea. But anyway, the Pope family's here tonight, and Miss Helen Pope and Jonathan Pope, and I don't know your children's names? Jack and
Sydney.
Jack and Sydney. All right. So they're all here tonight with us, and we're happy to be here. But the square dancing connection there is that Mr. Otto Morrison used to be the square dance caller. My grandparents used to enjoy dancing with. So I appreciate your consideration for this tonight. It has been a long time coming. I know more than I ever want to know about conveying property to the city. My hat's off to you. So I just appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks. And that will be coming before you when we get down to new business. One last thing, I had GDOT drop off concept plans for the improvements that they are looking at making on North Columbia Street and on Robertson Mill Road. And that's what the placards are that you see displayed out in the gallery. So I would encourage you to take a look at those, keeping in mind that this is just a beginning concept. The light that's there now, if you remember when we were going through that process, it was very clear that that was going to be a temporary light and a temporary fix. And this is the initial concept for what they hope will be the permanent fix in the mall area on both North Columbia and Robertson Mill Road. So please take a look at those. If you have any questions on them, I'll do my best to answer them. But if I don't know the answers, we can get the district engineer on the phone next week and get those answers for you. And with that, Ms. Shinholster, that's all I have.
Wow.
You did good.
Actually, 9 minutes.
Mr. Reynolds does have a question, though.
Hank, did they provide digital copies of these placards as well?
They
PDF?
have not yet. I actually requested those when I got these, and they're working on them. Actually, probably even the second iteration now before they send those out. So
Okay.
Super.
Okay. We don't have any old business, so we'll move to new business, and I'll ask the clerk to read ordinance O 240309 by caption as a first read.
This is to conduct the first reading of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow special use located at 3015 Heritage Place. This property is currently owned by Secresh Enterprises Incorporated and Zone CC. Applicant desires to rezone property to LI and provide a special use for a medical cannabis cultivation and processing facility.
This zoning comes at the request of Travana that we heard from earlier tonight. This is the first reading, and this ordinance is assigned to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Next, we have resolutions that are ready for adoption. So I'll ask the clerk to read Resolution R-2403-15 by caption.
To authorize a written acknowledgement of lease commencement with Verizon Wireless for the equipment on the Meeks water tank located at 139 Robertson Mill Road.
You've heard the resolution. Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Mr. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
So the resolution is adopted. I'll ask the clerk to read Resolution R-2403-16 by caption.
A resolution to authorize an agreement with Simonton Engineering LLC to provide the engineering services associated with Harrington Drive drainage improvements.
You've heard the resolution. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions? I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Mr. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted. Next, I'll ask the clerk to read Resolution R-2403-17 by caption.
A resolution to authorize a construction contract with Tecta America to repair the City Hall roof.
You've heard the resolution. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Mr. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted. I'll ask the clerk to read Resolution R-2403-18 by caption.
A resolution to accept the street dedication deed for Earl Siegel Court in the Milledgeville, Baldwin County Industrial Park.
You've heard the resolution. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move we approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Mr. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted. Next, I'll ask the clerk to read Resolution R-2403-19 by caption.
A resolution to accept the street dedication deed for Henry Pope Way in the Milledgeville, Baldwin County Industrial Park.
You've heard the resolution. Is there a motion to adopt?
So
Motion
moved.
to adopt. Second.
Are there any questions on this one? I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
Ms. Mount.
Aye.
Ms. Walden.
Aye.
Mr. Reynolds.
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Siegel and the Polk family.
Can you hold on for just 1 second?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I can't tell you how proud I am of what Earl and Henry both have done for this community.
Yes.
So much. And I just want to stop for just a second and let it soak in how hard they worked, volunteered, got turned down a whole lot of times,
All those years.
made some successes, and they dedicated what they did in the time they weren't working to making Milledgeville better. And I applaud both of these men. Thank you very much. I tried my best to get Earl to say y'all a long time ago.
I love to hear him say it. Yes, thank you for that, Steve. There are no appointments, alcohol license applications on the agenda tonight. Do we need to go into closed session to discuss a personnel matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Second.
I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
Ms. Mount.
Aye.
Ms. Walden.
Aye.
Mr. Reynolds.
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
Okay, we'll be back shortly. Okay, we'll call this meeting back to order and ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Dr. Lee.
Here.
Ms. Shinholster.
Here.
Ms. Mount.
Here.
Ms. Walden.
Here.
Mr. Reynolds.
Here.
Mr. Chambers.
Here.
Okay, that concluded the items on tonight's agenda. Is there anyone on council who wishes to make an announcement or have any comments at this time?
Just that there was no action taken in executive session.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. There was no action taken in executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So
Motion
moved.
to adjourn.
Second.
Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
Ms. Mount.
Aye.
Ms. Walden.
Aye.
Mr. Reynolds.
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
Mr. Hyde.
Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.
Mr.